Hello Scorpio, so I'm doing your bonus weekly reading for May the 3rd to the 10th. As always with your Scorpio Sundays readings, there is going to be timestamps in the description box below, just in case you feel like any of these decks are not quite resonating with you, okay? So we're doing Spirit Animal, Rune, Healing Crystal, Strongest Energy, Tarot, Healing and Guidance, okay? Right, so if you look at this one, it's the Raven and Shaman, and that's come out off balance. We're going to get to why it's come out as scattered energy in a minute. It says, you are the creator and the magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. Okay? Now, this one has come out as scattered energy because it indicates at the moment, Scorpio, there could be a lack of self-belief that's going on within you, okay? Feeling like maybe you're not, I don't know, maybe good enough, maybe not good enough to help others out at this time. Feeling a little bit shaky when it comes down to using your gifts, okay? And the simple fact is, Scorpio, almost all Scorpios do have spiritual gifts, okay? Like, that is a fact. Not all Scorpios are using their gifts, though. And this message this week is clearly for a Scorpio collective who clearly does have spiritual gifts, but they're at the moment either not using them or they're not using them to their highest potential, okay? So this is Spirit's way of gently encouraging you to really get comfortable with your spiritual gifts. I know a lot of people, their gifts make them feel very awkward or uncomfortable. I mean, that there's a whole lot to unpack with the reasons as to why that is, okay? Being made out to be a bit of a loony is just one reason. I mean, there could also have been situations where maybe you were bullied out of using your gift, okay? Being made to feel like there was something inherently wrong with you or anything like that. That's normally what goes on whenever this shaman energy comes out scattered. So other people's opinions, deep-rooted insecurities, or just feeling like you're not good enough, is all impacting on your ability to really use your spiritual gifts for the greater good, because you are definitely being encouraged here to use your gifts for the greater good, okay, come what may. And no, it isn't easy. It's not an easy journey to take. But again, that's why you'll often find that that particular journey does go to Scorpios, okay? Because out of anybody, you guys are the ones who can handle it. You really can take that responsibility, okay, without falling into the temptation of using your spiritual gifts for selfish needs, for selfish measures and gains, okay? Now, obviously, with this message, yes, Spirit is going to provide for you and support you and help you, obviously. See it in terms of you become an employee for the universe, okay? And yes, you are going to be paid for that job, absolutely. There are a lot of benefits that do come with that chosen path, but it's definitely not an easy path, okay? But you must not let that put you off. Whatever happens, do not let the difficulties put you off. Because when all is said and done, nothing in life is really easy, okay? The spiritual path, though, it does seem to be particularly a difficult one, especially nowadays. I mean, no shade to any particular one, social media. I mean, that they all have their positives and their negatives. It's just, unfortunately, at the moment, they seem to be used more widely for the negative, for like perpetuating and spreading fear and alarm and concern and unrest and all the rest of it. Okay, and I'm gonna level with you guys straight away. The ones who are keeping it real, they don't necessarily get all of the views. Okay, they really don't. I'm speaking from it personal experience here, a lot of it. So lean into this gift of yours, lean into the path, okay? And do not allow the fact that, yes, it is difficult, put you off, because it's a very important job, and it is a job. It definitely is a job. It's also a lifestyle, okay? So when you start embarking upon this and embracing your gifts, which at the moment, with that coming out as scattered energy, you might not necessarily be embracing your gifts right now. You could be running from them. That's okay. It's okay to be concerned, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that your fears or your concerns are meaningless, okay? I'm absolutely not going to do that. Your concerns are valid. It does take a lot of guts to lean in to your spiritual gifts, because it requires a lot of trust, okay? So use your wisdom, your gifts and your talents for good, right? We will pull more cards. We'll see more information the more cards that we pull, okay? I'm going to leave that in the upright position because obviously I want you guys to focus on the positive qualities of that energy throughout your reading, okay? Which is a reminder that you are the creator and the magician in your own life, okay? It's time to get to work, right? That's your ultimate message here, Scorpio. It's time to get to work. And that message has come out for you guys quite frequently, actually, about using your gifts for good, okay? Not being afraid of your gifts. TUES, which is Tia's rune with this one, and Alfheim or Alfheimer, that one's ever so slightly scattered. We'll get to that in a minute. You got, with TUES, it says justice, warrior, war, and expenses. So it's connected to Mars energy, okay? Tia, he was literally the god of war and justice, okay? So the Norse gods, there was no one Norse god that represented one thing, okay? They all represented multiple different things at the same time, okay? And obviously then you've got Odin, the All-Father, who is the god of all, which is kind of cool. So with Tyr, war and justice. If you recall his story, he sacrificed one of his arms to rescue or to save the rest of the Asia. Okay, it was an attempt to avoid the end of times from happening, but spoiler alert, the end of times happened anyway. Okay, so it was a futile exercise in the long term, but in the short term, it served its purpose in the short term, okay, but in the long term, it didn't really change up much. So that's what they're on about with expenses, right? The sacrifices that you make. Oh, am I on the wrong camera? I am on the wrong camera. I do apologize, Scorpio. I was holding it up here. The sacrifices that you make, you need to make sure that they are that they're going to be worthwhile, right? Anything this week that comes at a personal cost to you, you might want to reanalyze that, okay? Because it might not be worth your time in the long run. So, for example, let's just say someone is asking you for a favor, just for an example, and that favor requires you to, I don't know, maybe put yourself in debt, okay? It's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it. Because ultimately, while you do have this desire to help everyone, to rescue everyone, you don't like the thought of anybody having to struggle the way that you perhaps had to struggle. And if you're the one that can make someone else's life a little bit easier, then you're the one that's going to take steps to do that, okay? This week, you're not necessarily going to be able to do that, all right? So be okay with technically being a little bit more selfish, okay? And again, you can debate as to whether or not that's selfish or is that self-care, okay? Either way, listen, it's fine this week. You have to do what is right in order for you to save yourself, okay? You're not in the position this week, Scorpio, to be helping out anyone where it comes at a personal cost to yourself, as that is TUES message. With this being connected to Mars, obviously Mars is one of your ruling planets, you are going to be feeling that Mars energy quite strongly this week, okay? Now, the thing with this one, because your shaman energy came out as scattered, you might not necessarily have the physical energy levels that match up with your drive, with your inspirations, with your aspirations, okay? There is a misalignment with physical energy, so your desire to get certain things done, and then it not lining up with you're not going to have enough time, or you're not going to have enough energy to carry out the things that you want to do, okay? So this one's saying for you to reprioritize what is needing to be done first, okay? Ultimately, that is going to be the way to avoid any sort of strife and struggles. Now we move on to Alfheim, or Alfheimer. That one was scattered energy. So Alfheim, that was realm of the light elves, okay? Basically means the world of light, abundance, and fertility. Now, with this one coming out off balance, it indicates that not everything is going to work out quite as you had imagined it to this week, and that's absolutely fine, okay? You have to work within your own means, right? You have to work within your own limits this week. So to have not absolutely everything work out how you wanted it to or expected it to, that's okay. Because Alfheim off balance is telling us that you can always revisit what you were unable to complete this week. You can always revisit it later on down the line, okay? It says glimmers of potential and probability, all right? So that's where we're getting those messages from. Ultimately, your, let's say, your input is matching the output, or the output is matching the input, either way. I mean, there is balance here to a certain extent, okay? There just might be a little niggling something that's not necessarily going to work out quite how you want it to. But that doesn't mean to say it's never going to work out. Okay. because it is. So what we'll do, I'm going to leave Alfheim up there in the upright position, because it indicates not all hope is lost, right? And that's what you need to hold on to. And we'll leave this one down here. Right, let's take a look at your healing crystal. Yeah, so I hope that the messages so far are quite easy to follow. Okay, because I can never quite tell if I'm explaining things in a way that is easily digested. Right, let's take a look. Ooh, got a strange orange one. Isn't that funny how that one always wants to come out? The Rainbow Order Quartz. I don't know if you saw that there. It was left on the table. It didn't want to come back out again. Right, so the Angel Aura Quartz, you've had that card out a million times. It always comes out for you out of this deck. You can always just Google it, okay? It's basically all about completion within yourself. That's the gist of it. And, of course, to trust in your own gifts, abilities, and intuition. Wolfenite, that's what this weird one is. It's Wolfenite. That's how they're spelling it, with a U. So W-U-L-F rather than W-O-L-F. It says journey, past life, soul contracts. Right? Something very spiritual going on this week. This journey has only just begun. So if you were afraid that something was over, or maybe the end of times were near with this one, fear not. Your journey has only just begun. Okay? Wolfenite can travel through your past, through your present, and through your future, and opens up communication with the spirit world. It also aids in past life recognition, helping you to see soul contracts that you have made in this lifetime, facilitating the karmic reunion and completing a cycle once that lesson has been learnt. Wolfenite is a powerful past life healing stone, resolving any issues that need to be faced and regaining magic lost in past lives to be used here and now. Right? So, I don't know. Maybe, again, this is just an example. Maybe some of you all were burnt as witches at the stake in a past life. And then in this lifetime, afraid to delve into your knowledge, gift, spiritual abilities because of that, right? Doesn't necessarily need to have happened in a past life, though. It could have happened in this lifetime, not so much being burnt at the stake, of course, because like you're sitting here watching this, so I hope that you've not been. But just ridiculed horrendously for being very, very spiritual, and then decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm not putting up with that. I'm just going to hide my abilities, okay? I did that for years and years and years. And I tell you what, when your number's called, it's intense as fuck. And it can feel like if you keep ignoring it, the events that happen in your life can show up as actually being really quite horrendous. Okay, I'm not going to go into too much personal information there, right? If you live in it, you know it. Okay? So, resolving any issues that need to be faced and regaining magic lost in past lives that it's supposed to be used here and now. It's associated with Sagittarius, Venus, and Mars. You might have, your Venus might be Sagittarius. Right? And Mars, obviously, one of your ruling planets. So someone here is a Scorpio with a Sagittarius Venus. And this message is for you. Your number's being called up. In a good way, right? In a good way. Your number's being called up because your time is now to start helping others by using your gifts and your abilities. And if you ignore it, I don't know what to tell you. If you ignore it, put your seatbelt on. That's what I can say to that one. Okay. They're saying here there is nothing for you to fear. You have to start really tuning into your magician energy, right? Let's take a look. Strongest energy. Let's go. Strongest energy for Scorpio. Wheel of Fate, that's come out of balance. So someone is ignoring the call. They're trying to put it off for as long as possible. You're not going to be able to. Like, trust me on this, Scorpio, you're not going to be able to. Been there, done that. It was fucking horrendous. Please don't make my mistake. Your whole thing is wanting to help people, wanting to save people. Are you not a people? Do you know what I mean? Like, why is it okay for you to help others, but then for you not to help yourself? Right? You're taking risks that could pay off, but know that there is success even in failure. Right? That one came out off balance. It shares the same message as the shaman that came out. Okay. The risks that you take this week, Scorpio, they are going to pay off. This is all to do with feelings of, oh, well, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't feel like I'm qualified to do that. You have plenty of life experience under your belt, do you not? It's all the qualifications that you need. Anything that doesn't work out can always be reclaimed later on, which is the same message as that Alfheim as well. This is a portal, and it came out off balance, right? There's a message here to do with your life purpose and how you can no longer ignore your life purpose. Inspiration, new life, purpose, rebirth, renewal, and happiness. That's what awaits you. Like, I hate to sound cheesy. Step into your destiny is the best thing you're going to be able to do for yourself here, right? And the time is now, because that's a friggin' cherry blossom tree. Cherry blossom trees, in this country at least, they're in full bloom right now. So your time is right now. Right now. Intuition, follow your heart, trust, navigate challenges. And look how calm that ocean is. It's calm, it's beautiful. Somebody has been fighting against their purpose. Fear of some sort of retaliation, or fear of being negatively judged or looked down on. Anything like that. Solutions. Intuitive boost, answers are coming, and higher knowledge. There it is. Now, every single one of these cards are all connected to each other. And they're all giving really similar messages. And the spooky thing is, I'll show you, they're from different decks. Yeah, there's like, where is that deck? This one is actually 3 decks blended into one big one here. And no, they're not all spiritual messages at all. Absolutely not. Every single one of these cards is spiritually inclined. Every single one of them. Now that alone speaks for itself. Right. Can you tell us more about this energy for Scorpio? Knight of Wands, yeah. It's time to get going. They're saying here, you do have a rebellious, adventurous side to yourself. Lean into that. Okay. 2 of Pentacles, yeah. That's what's going to help you to keep things in balance here. Oosh, the Devil. I'll find out more about that Devil energy in a minute. There's competition and evil eye. It's just keeping you stuck. They're off balance. Completely off balance. Wheel of Fortune and the King of Swords. Ace of Cups, 9 of Cups. 6 of Wands. Oh. Okay. The World. The 8 of Wands. And the 4 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. That's coming through as rejection, right? So there's like a past rejection here that is plaguing your decision making, right? Now, reclaim your power back from that rejection, whatever that was. Yeah, Judgment underneath there. Judgment is one of your cards, okay? Rebirth. So this one, process the rejections that you have experienced. That is going to open the path for your rebirth, right? This rebirth journey of yours takes you on a very, very spiritual path, where you end up basically, I don't know, becoming like a spiritual advisor or something like that, okay? It's along those lines. Now, the thing is as well, Scorpio, when you speak, people listen. They do. You might not realize that, though. Okay? Because you've already been told. Wasn't it with that shaman one? There is power in your wisdom and words. Yeah, so it was there. I did remember correctly. There's power in your wisdom and your words. So when you speak, people listen. But you might not realize that. Okay. So if this is an issue of low confidence, you've got nothing to worry about. Okay, Spirit is indicating here that you definitely are overthinking the situation. Okay, definitely with this 8 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. It's kind of like you making assumptions. People aren't going to like you. Or people aren't going to listen. People aren't going to pay attention. Oh, no, nobody's going to want to hear me, right? Whatever. You're entirely wrong. That's what Spirit's telling you there. Like, and trust me, as someone who is literally working themselves within the spiritual community, no, it's not easy, right? It is fucking hard. You are going to come across a lot of a-holes and trolls and all the rest of it and bullies, but you're also going to come across a lot of really, really beautiful souled people. Kind, loving, honest, supportive people, right? You see how those two are on the head of these two. So don't focus on the negative, focus on the positive, okay? And that is really, really true, because whenever somebody leaves like a nasty comment, that one nasty comment will tend to stick with you instead of the 200, 300 positive comments, right? You want to know why it works that way? Because when you read something, you're reading it in your own voice. Yeah? That's why it sticks. Because you're reading it in your own voice. So if someone had said it to your face, it wouldn't quite stick the same way. But when you're reading it, it's in your own voice. And that's why it sticks. Okay? So there are solutions of how you can overcome that or bypass that, how you can not let it affect you, because it's affecting someone here, right? Do not let that put you off under any circumstances. Block and move on every day of the week. Block, move on, block, move on, block, move on. It really is as simple as that. Okay? This is important, that you do not allow anybody to stop you from what you have been put here to do. That is vital. Right? With these here, we've got someone who is contemplating. They've not done it yet, because this King of Swords has come out as scattered energy. They're contemplating, okay, maybe I should just quit. Or if you've not yet started, and these are the things that are potentially putting you off from getting started in the first place, which I suspect is closer to it, right? Again, that's not really a valid reason not to get started. Because you're better than that, Scorpio. You're stronger than that. Much, much stronger than that. Okay? This is important. Whenever the Wheel of Fortune comes out, it's imperative that you pay particular close attention to that, because it's tied in to your fate and your destiny, right? Yes, it's likely that somebody at some point has tried or is currently trying to potentially destiny swap with you, right? Again, if that's the case, they're not going to get anywhere with that. And if it is someone that's doing it, it's likely going to be, I'm feeling the fixed energies, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, another Scorpio, or a Capricorn, because that's ruled by Saturn's Capricorn energy as well, or a Cancerian. Now, we're not seeing any strictly Cancerian energies here. Yes, you've got the Ace of Cups, but it's just a suspicion, a vibe, a feeling that I've got. Okay, so again, take it as it resonates. They're not going to be fruitful with that. You can't successfully destiny swap with anybody. It does not work that way. Right? They can cause problems. Abso-fucking-lutely, they can cause problems. Temporarily. But you know what? You know what's going to happen with anyone who does shit like that? It's going to backfire. It always does. Okay? It always does. You have to believe that. So, in the meanwhile, if it seems to be that what you're needing to focus on is getting comfortable with who you truly are, underneath your, like, who you are to your family, or who you are to your friends, or what it is that you do for a day job. Okay, we're not talking about who you are there, we're talking about who you are. And apparently, I'm speaking to a Scorpio collective that actually are very, very powerful manifestors, creators, artists, very, very spiritually inclined individuals who are typically hiding their more spiritual qualities for whatever reason. You can no longer afford to do that, Scorpio. It's like Spirit is asking you, please, we need more people like you to the forefront. We really do. Now we're seeing actually, Scorpio, that this plays out really, really well for you. Okay. Really well for you. It's a bumpy ride. But it's like we've already said, you're built for that. You're a Scorpio. You weren't built for the easy life. Okay. I know how harsh that sounds, but that's your superpower. I'm not being funny, that's your superpower, Scorpio. You weren't born for the easy life, for the easy ride. Right? The Six of Wands, the World, and the Eight of Wands. This actually plays out better than what you could ever have imagined it would. You tell us more about this for Scorpio, please. You see, the moon off balance. I tell you no lies. The moon off balance. Your worst fears are not going to manifest. You're in safe hands. Lean into your spiritual journey, your spiritual purpose. Lean into that. You've nothing to be ashamed of. Strength off balance, right? Nothing to be ashamed of at all. The Hangman. The Two of Pentacles. Yeah. Go slow if necessary, okay? Go slow if necessary, but the whole point is, this week, get fucking started. That is literally the whole point. Right? Eight of Cups, the Hierophant, the Chariot. You see? The Two of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the World, and the Six of Wands. You've got help and support here. This is going to require you doing away with what is holding you back. That's a very spiritual card as well, the Hierophant. Can be a spiritual leader, teacher. Okay. And the Chariot. Willpower and perseverance. It's all there. It's all there. We've got a boost to your confidence and creativity here as well with this Queen of Wands. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, okay? The court cards, they belong to everybody because they can represent aspects of our personalities in any given moment, okay? It's time for you to act in confidence. Right, let's get you a strategy card. Strategy for Scorpio, please. Okay, Sun Tzu said, all warfare is based on deception, meaning don't be deceived. A lot of you guys are being deceived out and away from your true life purpose. Do not fall for it. Life is hard enough when we're deceived by others, but even harder when we deceive ourselves, when we tell ourselves that others are better, others are smarter, and others are more deserving of happiness than we are, or when emotions get in the way of our rational choices. Much of our freedom and power comes from control of our choices, so choose not to be deceived. Like I said, especially in today's era of social media, fear is prevalent. And fear typically is what is being pumped into the algorithm. Because it sells. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. Smarter than that. I have a healing message for Scorpio. It's quite a lot. Smoky quartz clearing negativity. Exactly. Release negativity from within or around you. Yep. This is not the week for you to be getting dragged down into anything negative. Okay, Opal, let yourself sparkle and shine. You're guided to be bold and show your bigger than life self to the world. I told you. You're not here to be put away in a box somewhere and tucked away in a corner, never to be seen again. Right? Jade, wellness. The recovery of health and wellness is here. Well, thank fuck for that. I don't know about you guys, but that's the one I've been waiting on for a while. The health one. Don't give a shit about wealth. I take health every day of the week. There's a return to health and wellness here. I think they say jade is lucky as well. Moldavite, unconventionality. There you go. Your unique qualities are an important part of your life purpose. It is okay to feel and be different from others. So that's why you've always felt different from others, because you are different from others. You can see the shit that no one else wants to see. You can see the hidden energies, you can feel the hidden intent and all the rest of it. Spiritual people almost always will sit there and say, I never felt like I fit in anywhere. I never felt like I belonged anywhere, ever. It's right there. That's why. Right, so let's see if we can uplift this energy a bit with some naughty words of wisdom from the Scorpio Tarot. It's just a little bit of light-hearted fun at the end of your read, okay? I'm a firm believer in always leaving the tarot reads on a bit of a high, okay? Right, sounds like a fucking nightmare. Good luck. Oh dear. You're coming out of a nightmare. Let's be real. Because happy fucking times are coming soon. I told you. I tell you no lies. Okay? You're leaving the nightmare behind. The nightmare was worse the whole time you were pushing away who you truly are. But once you start embracing who you truly are, you will find that everything will flip. Yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that that reading has been helpful. For personal reads with me, my website is phoenixkeiatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.